Listenership is up. Subscribers are up. The only place left to go is further up. Thank you, everyone. Today's withdrawal from the vault is a dumb birthday game from August 31st, 1993. There is some interesting timing here as a blue moon is mentioned, and we just had one last week. Oh, the title of this, and you'll hear why, is Carpal Tunnel Syndrome. Golly, that's creative. The players: Kathleen and Milton, Suzanne from Delaware, Mike Epstein producing and playing in studio, Jack Harte, and I'm calling in from my home studio annex. The birthdays: Richard Gere, Buddy Hackett, James Coburn, Daniel Shore, Van Morrison, Debbie Gibson, Itzhak Pearlman, and Warren Berlinger. Dead birthdays: Arthur Godfrey. And you can only imagine what that means. Some other info. I included the bottom of the hour news update from CNN Radio News with Larry Mayher. Then the lovely Lana Jones with a local update. There's a few news stories that reflect what's going on, or should I say, still going on today. Kinda weird. There's traffic with Jack, and AccuWeather with sizzling Stan Sizzick. We are treated to some commercial content. Old pal Joan Cantwell for triple action gold bond medicated powder. Nina's design lighting. And Marazine. Episode 198. Carpal Tunnel Syndrome motors its way to your ears in 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, the rules are quite simple. All you have to do is guess the ages of people who were born on this day. I will tell you who they were and a little something about them which may help put their ages in perspective. And then it's on to the dumb birthday game. Let's see who's playing with. We have Kathleen.
Good morning.
Hi, Kathleen and Milton. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Is this your first time at this?
No, this is my second time.
Oh, you're a veteran.
Yes.
Son of a gun, you probably get a veteran T-shirt. Says, I played the dumb birthday game twice. Or maybe you won't get that. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Suzanne in Delaware. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, how are you?
You're the lady we just had a fascinating talk with, whose husband is fast asleep and his entire body broken up by all the building he's been doing. I'm glad you're playing the game with us, and I appreciate that.
Okay.
And we also have the very lovely Mike Epstein, who's our producer, who's going to play the game with us today. Hi, Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. And good morning to you, Jack Harte. Hold on a minute. I love to play that and because it makes him sing and dance. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
That's it, eh? Hello, whatever your name is. Hello.
An introduction like that, and all you can say is hello.
Hello.
Wait.
He was groping for the name on top of all of that.
Wait a second. Howdy.
Okay, anyway, we're glad you're playing the game. And you know who else is playing the game, everybody?
Who?
It's really thrilling. The very lovely and exciting Tony Nesbitt with the fat legs. See, they're both doing it. You see the way they're doing that?
Yep.
They're trying to aggravate the old guy. And well, if you're trying to aggravate the old guy, just chalk it up to a success because you're doing just that.
How you doing, Jim? Norm.
See, but when will I set up a company picking? Need a picnic. Company picking. You can tell what's going through my mind. Anyway, let me get off that subject very quickly.
I just figured something out, sir.
Yes?
You know why that little girl on that Ovaltine commercial, why her mom lets her drink all the Ovaltine she wants?
To get to the other side or to keep her pants up. No, why?
So she can just keep drinking it so her mother doesn't have to listen to her annoying voice.
She has the most annoying voice in broadcasting I've ever heard. You're right. Oh, yeah. I would just pour it down her throat and say, shut up, kid. Yeah.
I bet you think when she giggles, it comes out of her nose.
It comes out of my nose because I laugh a lot when I'm drinking my milk and stuff. Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, when I eat anything, it powders up around my lips. Isn't that a sickening thought? Anyway, let's play the dumb birthday game quickly. Today's August 31st. Of course, it's the very last day of this month, as I think you could tell by the fact that it's August 31st. And a number of very interesting people were born on August 31st.
But we're not going to guess those. We're going to go.
No, you're not going to. That's right. We're going to get some stupid ones because I don't feel like giving anything decent. Now, Richard Gere, the actor, who's a kind of I would say a Norm Nathan lookalike, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a sophisticated and kind of hip-looking, nice-looking guy.
Not as good an actor, though.
No, he's not as good, not as I am, no.
I don't think he's all that great looking either, but.
Really?
Hey?
Yeah, I don't know.
mean-
I can't judge men, but he looks when I look at a guy, and I look at Richard Gere, and I think, if I looked like him, I could really score a lot. That's the way I judge them.
He's okay. I'm not as striking as I think some people describe him.
Well, let me ask Kathleen and Suzanne. What do you think?
I think he's okay.
I think Tom Cruise is better looking.
Yeah, who do you think are good-looking guys like Tom Cruise and who else?
Paul Newman, he still looks good.
Oh, yeah. See, now I was just mentioning, Paul Newman, of course, was on the David Letterman show, and Paul Newman is actually older than I am.
Wow.
Oh, shut up. No, well, wow. Oh, really? Oh, gee, I thought you were as old as Methuselah. So just stick the old knife in there. What do you care?
Only 6 months.
Well, what's the difference?
The thing is, it shows, Norm. It really does on him.
I mean, it really shows on him?
Yeah, the extra 6 months compared to you.
Oh, yeah.
People can see it.
He looks like he's older than I am.
When they put both of you next to each other.
Yeah. They say, look, who's that old guy with Norm Nathan?
That's right.
Yeah. Or who's the young guy with Paul Newman? Sometimes they do that. Yeah, that's true. Who else? You mentioned Paul Newman and Tom Cruise. There's Patrick Swayze. What do you think of him? Kathleen and Suzanne?
Well, I think he's all right looking. I still like Cary Grant, that type of look. Obviously, he's gone. But
Yeah, but you're a hip lady. I think you're right. There was something very sophisticated, very sharp looking. Patrick Swayze's got to be one of the worst actors in Hollywood, I think. And I think he's just got a kind of a bland, nothing face.
How about Mel Gibson? Your basic Mel Gibson.
Well, he's got a face of a real person, much more so than Swayze or Gere, my opinion. But what do you ladies think?
He's cute. I think Robert Urich is still my favorite.
Ugh.
Okay. Ugh, did you say ugh? You're saying that because you're from Andover, and,
absolutely.
and he had a house in Andover for a long
Absolutely.
time.
My mom and my aunt have some kind of thing for Robert Urich.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a Cancer Society promotional film with him once, and he was really a very nice man. So
He is. He's absolutely a nice guy, but...
So I'd say he's a good-looking guy. See, I judge people by that. Women are beautiful if they're nice, and men are good-looking if they're nice also, see?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that drifted everything down into nothingness.
was
Anyway,
it his birthday?
what's that?
Is it Patrick Swayze's birthday?
No, actually, it's Richard Gere's
Oh,
birthday
Richard
today.
Gere.
Okay, so let me start. Let me start with you, Kathleen.
Okay.
How old do you think Richard Gere is today? Let me tell you something about him. Let's see. Appeared in American Gigolo, Officer and a Gentleman, looking for Mr. Who?
Goodbye.
Good
Oh,
boy.
Goodbye. Yeah, was he in that? I didn't realize that. And also Pretty Woman with the woman who...
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts, yeah, who just married that funny-looking country singer.
Wow,
I love it, yes.
Yeah, I thought that was... that's right. I thought that was a nice pairing, though. That was really nice.
You know, I saw a picture somewhere. They put Lyle Lovett's picture next to Errol Flynn's picture, and they penciled a little mustache into Lyle Lovett's face, and it does indeed, with the little mustache on there, look like a craggy Errol Flynn.
Really? Son of a guy. And when they put the mustache on Julia Roberts, who did she look like?
She looked like a craggy Errol Flynn.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody said they're probably the same person. Have you ever seen them separate?
yeah.
Yeah. Or together. Have you ever seen them together?
Never saw Errol Flynn and Julia Roberts together.
Well, maybe you haven't been around, kid. Okay, Richard Gibbons. Kathleen, how old do you think he is?
I'm going to take a guess and say 36.
36. Okay, and Suzanne, what do you think?
I think he's 38.
38. And Tony?
44.
44. And Mike?
You got a problem with that? Was there a dramatic
I
pause for a reason?
No, I like to have dramatic pauses
He
when
was
I
taking
speak.
his time writing it down in triplicate on the dumb birthday official scorecard.
And I was also writing it in Old English because these. I save all the scorecards and I autograph them, and Tony and Mike and Jack, we all do, and we give them to the Channel 2 auction.
Yeah.
And they pull in tons of cash. Oh, incidentally, we're only down $273 million now, and it's the end of the month, so we better collect it by midnight tonight. Okay?
What's it, about $40 for a mug now on that auction?
I don't know. I know they have to plead and beg for money, but boy, does that get sickening after a while.
I don't know who's worse, the Channel 2 people or the TV preachers you see begging for money.
Well, I think the Channel 2 people are, because you try and watch a program and they cut in every 15 minutes with a 20-minute plea.
Especially when you're trying to videotape the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're never trying to videotape the preachers on television.
Oh, I
so
know.
what the heck did.
It's a 2-hour program on Channel 2, and it's auction time, which means I better set the VCR for 3.5, maybe 4 hours.
That's right. Yeah, 'cause I know you tape all the beggings for money, Tony. He's got a complete collection.
And they keep interrupting it all the time with programming.
Yeah.
It drives me up the wall.
Yeah, it's got 40 years of begging for money right on videotape. Anyway, Mike, how old do you think Richard Gere is?
I think he's older than he looks. I think he's like 48 years old.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
Yeah, see.
Well, I could be.
Yeah. Jack, what do you say?
43.
43. You're very close, but Tony hit it on the button at
all
44. You knew that, didn't you,
Yes,
Tony?
I did.
You had to know that.
Yep.
You did homework on this?
No.
Do you know the others two who were born today?
Who else was born today, and I'll tell you.
Well, we'll see. He's being cutesy with us, huh?
And a wise guy.
Oh, a wise guy and a cutesy. Yeah.
I know there's somebody else I do know the age of. I'm not going to tell.
Somebody outside?
Somebody else.
Oh, somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Bobby Hackett?
Not
Or
him.
Buddy Hackett.
Oh,
Buddy
oh.
Hackett, not Bobby. Buddy Hackett.
Maybe I know his age.
Born Leonard Hacker in Brooklyn, New York. Appeared in The Music Man with Robert Preston. Regularly performs in Las Vegas and Atlantic City which says here, a very blue routine. For those of you who don't know this archaic expression, it means dirty mouth, and they got to wash it out with soap routine. Also, he was in The Little Mermaid. I didn't realize that. Okay, we'll start with you, Jack.
Herbie the Love Bug.
Herbie, oh. And what do you say, Jack? How old do you think Buddy Hackett is on this very day?
Ooh, Herbie the Love Bug came out 25 years ago. Let's say he...
25 years ago, did you say, Jack?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which are the ones where I see it? Herbie Rides Again or something?
Oh, yeah. Those are the ones with Ken Berry.
Oh, yes.
66.
66. Okay, and Mike?
You know he doesn't like having his picture taken?
I didn't know that.
No, he didn't. Because
How did he ever get on TV?
I went to see him at one of his live performances, and people were taking pictures of him, and he says, "Don't do that. I'm going to walk off the stage. I'm going to go." And all of us were
Very
saying...
good, Mike. Very good.
Yeah, for a moment I had to look up to see whether Buddy Hackett was actually here. That was incredible.
God, thank you.
Okay, now, what do you think? How old do you think that imitation was?
I think he's 62 years old.
62 years of age.
Yeah.
Okay. And Tony?
He was also in It's a Mad, Mad,
That's
Mad,
right.
Mad, Mad,
Absolutely.
Mad,
That's
Mad
right.
World.
Fine movie.
Great movie.
69.
69. And Suzanne?
Well, he was in The Music Man, and that was a really long time ago. But he always looks the same. I mean, he looked old back then.
He really did, yeah.
He's in his 60s, I guess. I'll say 67.
67. Okay, and Kathleen?
69.
You'll say 69, and you were wise to do that. Did you pick up the clue from Tony?
No.
No, that was just your own guess.
Yeah.
Okay, because 69 is correct, and Tony
You're
hit...
kidding.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
That's the way to cover up the fact that you were cheating. Oh, you're kidding? Like I don't know. I didn't know.
I didn't know. I really didn't.
Just because I have it written here in front of me. See, like that? I didn't know. You really didn't know?
I really didn't know.
Okay, because otherwise you're a lying, cheating, no good paskudnyak. Thank you very much, and that's as violent as I get, man.
Whew, that was blue.
Oh, that was really blue, yeah. James Coburn from Laurel, Nebraska. That must be Annie. I hate when they have initials. You know, the code names for states. Annie.
Oh, Annie.
Annie.
That's a place in Canada. Meh.
Yeah, I thought. Oh, I see. Oh, I thought that was New England. No, it's Nebraska. But Nebraska is a pretty state. I mean, the word Nebraska is pretty. When you boil it down to N-E, what is that? Or Massachusetts. Isn't that beautiful? Massachusetts. Just to see in print is lovely. But M-A, what is that? Thank you very much. I'm so glad I got that
You
off
have a lot
the
of
chest.
time on your hands.
I do. I sit around all day. I've got nothing to do.
So what can I pick on today? What can I be furious about today? Abbreviations for states. I'm going to go on there and just scream about it, and that's what you do. What else? I bet you.
Write an editorial.
I'll tell you, you know what gets me?
Yeah?
Michigan, Missouri, and a couple of the other M states. I get confused all the time.
Oh, but confused is not the same as looking at those initials.
Like Mississippi.
M-I.
No, that's Michigan. See?
Oh, that's right,
MS
too.
is Mississippi.
That's right.
Mississippi is what, MS?
Yeah, see what I mean?
MS, and that's kind
M-O
of...
is Missouri.
And that's an ailment.
And what about Montana? See? You'd figure M-O, Missouri, Montana. Why is Missouri, you know?
M-N.
And what is Montana, M-N?
MT.
M-T.
M-T. Now, what's pretty about...
M-N is Minnesota.
Son of a gun. Gee.
And Maine.
Why do we need abbreviations in this world?
We don't. What's wrong with spelling it all out?
I think we ought to take up a petition drive.
It's against the post office.
It
You
is.
gotta blame it on them.
Absolutely. And think of the poor ink industry that loses out.
Really?
Son of a gun, I'm getting to feel worse by the second. Okay, James Coburn, his first big movie role was in The Great Escape in 1963. In 1965, he starred in Our Man Flint. Remind me to tell you a really boring story about Our Man Flint.
Oh, Norm, would you tell us a really boring story about Our Man Flint?
Well, I remember once when I was a disc jockey way back in the mid-'60s when that movie was made, we had a junket. They were having the world premiere of Our Man Flint in Puerto Rico, San Juan,
Junket,
Puerto Rico.
Our Man Flint.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Those were the days, I'll tell you.
They have more money than they know what to do with. And a bunch of us went down, flying first class. And this, we got all kinds of, like, Mexican, Puerto Rican hats and stuff on the way down. Plus a lot of booze in the plane. And I must say, in those days, I didn't turn down much of those freebies. So we got to Puerto Rico, and that night we were to see the premiere. We got bussed down to the big theater in downtown San Juan to watch Our Man Flint. Betty Grable, incidentally, was sitting right behind me, tickling the back of my neck, of course, because she just couldn't control herself.
So I guess you had a leg up on everybody else.
Oh. No, but anyway, it was that kind of preview. A lot of Boston disc jockeys throughout the country, and I had drunk too much, and I was really tired from the long flight. And about 10 minutes into the movie, I fell asleep, and I slept through the whole thing. And I know. See,
That was it?
Yeah, you understand the producers have spending tons of money to ship us all down there, watch this thing, and here's one of the guys sleeping all through the movie. Yeah, that's the whole thing. I thought it was more interesting than that, tell you the truth myself.
Flint had this great watch that I always wanted to watch, like the one he used to wear. Should I tell you what it was like?
Oh, I thought that was the whole story. I thought that story was as boring as my story.
No, well, it's close.
Okay.
We're gonna get
Close.
into that.
You can be the judge, okay? He was supposedly would stop his heart to sleep and rest. And this watch, when it was time to get up, this little, kind of like a T-bar would come out. Tiny little bar shaped like a T, and it would tap him right on his wrist where his pulse was, and it would start his heart back up again.
Was that from Our Man Flint, that series?
It may have been the return of Flint. It was in the Flint series, yeah.
Yeah, because that was sort of like the James Bond series in a sense, sort of the poor man. He was the poor man's James Bond.
Yeah, but I always remember that.
Well, that was something to remember.
I can't remember anything else about him but that watch.
Yeah. He also has a very deep voice.
Yes.
Well, I'm James Coburn. Anyway, he once got paid $500,000 for uttering 2 words in a commercial. The words were Schlitz Light.
Pardon me?
That's what it said, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Schlitz Light. Also,
Should we wait for the guessing of the age until after CNN? Or do we
look at I think we better. I forgot all about that.
I'll put everyone on hold for you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. We have news headlines. I'm sorry. I forgot all about that. We have news headlines coming. We'll take a break for that, and then we'll continue the game after. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, sure.
Can I talk through the news?
Yeah, you can talk through the news. Sure.
I may be on hold.
Nobody will hear. You'll be on hold. Nobody will hear you. But what the heck? He also appeared in Hudson Hawk. So everybody, while you're on hold and while we're taking a break for the news, I want you all to think about the ages of all these people. Or think about some other sexual fantasies if you'd rather do that. Frankly, I don't. That's where my mind is going to wander. Do what you like. Coming up to 2:30 in about 20 seconds, and you're tuned to WBZ. Norm Nathan here with the Dumb Birthday Game Kids.
The news of the day throughout the day. The WBZ Midday News for up-to-the-minute news and information. Listen to WBZ News Radio 1030.
The forecasters at the National Hurricane Center are keeping a very close eye on that storm called Emily. It's a hurricane moving steadily toward the mid-Atlantic coast and intensifying as it nears the shore. People along the Carolina coast have been advised to get out. Police Chief Jim Gradeless in Kill Devil Hills says some don't want to.
Persons who are actually living here, if they elect to stay, there's not a whole lot we can say about that other than try to collect data on those persons that are going to remain here.
Emily's winds could top 115 miles per hour by the time it hits the shore sometime before nightfall. Thousands of right-wing demonstrators gathered at Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin's office, calling him a traitor. They were protesting approval of a plan that would give Palestinians self-rule in parts of the occupied lands. A new Prime Minister of Haiti, Robert Malval, has taken an oath of office in Washington. Exiled President Jean-Bertrand Aristide attended the ceremony. From the CNN News Center, I'm Larry Mayher. The United Auto Workers has selected Ford as a strike target should no new contract be worked out. CNN's Ed Garston reports.
Ford will need some better ideas in the next 15 days if an auto workers strike is to be avoided. The car company was named by the United Auto Workers as its target Monday. That means contract negotiations will be exclusively with Ford to knock out an agreement that will be used as the pattern for pacts with GM and Chrysler. The contract runs out midnight September 14th. Union President Owen Bieber says health care insurance and job security are the key issues. If an agreement can't be reached before the deadline, Ford would be the first target for a strike. Ed Garston, CNN, Dearborn, Michigan.
U.S. Senate Republican Chief Bob Dole is prodding President Clinton to line up more Democratic votes for the North American Free Trade Agreement. The number 2 and 3 Democrats in the House have now announced they will actively oppose the treaty. This is CNN Radio News.
I'm Lana Jones, WBZ News. There have been no calls for special hurricane preparations in Massachusetts yet, but the storm is expected to turn northward after hitting the North Carolina coastline. Several emergency management departments around the state met on Monday to review preparedness and to make sure they could get the message out in time if need be. Suffolk County District Attorney Ralph Martin was joined by Boston city officials in urging the state legislature to ban the sale or possession of guns by anyone under the age of 21. That anti-gun bill has been assigned to the Local Affairs Committee. The State Board of Registration in Medicine has revoked the license of a former UMass Medical Center doctor. David Wood was a resident at the Worcester Hospital when he sexually assaulted a 5-year-old girl during a house call. He resigned his residency after the incident and pled guilty to criminal charges in December. Wood was ordered to serve 9 months of a 10-year prison term and placed on 3 years probation. Now, traffic on the 3s. Here's Jack Harte.
Well, thank you, Lana. Still plenty of work crews on area roadways. 128 northbound at Route 3A in Burlington. Some lanes taken up till about 5 a.m. Southbound on 128 from Trapello Road down to Route 20 and the Waltham Weston stretch. Ongoing construction a little further down 128 by Route 138 in Canton. More construction. Route 93 northbound and southbound. We've got work crews between the Medford-Wilmington area, and they'll be taking up space as well till about 5 a.m. 495 southbound in Lawrence, we've got work crews. Downtown, the Callahan Tunnel remains shut down till 5:30. And on the Craigie Drawbridge, McGrath-O'Brien Highway, just between the Museum of Science and the Leverett Circle area, we've still got a film crew out there shooting scenes for a major motion picture. I'm Jack Harte, WBZ 24-Hour Traffic Network.
Joan Cantwell of Brockton, Massachusetts, is telling us about her skin problems.
I had developed a skin rash, and the rash was red, itchy, very uncomfortable. At its worst, it was painful. It was very irritating.
But Joan Cantwell got relief using Triple Action Gold Bond medicated powder.
The Gold Bond powder has a nice clean feel to it. There's a cooling sensation. At the end of the day, the area that was irritating in the morning is no longer irritating.
Gold Bond's Triple Action is like 3 great powders in one. It has the absorbing action of powder, the medicating action of a proven itch fighter, and the drying action of zinc oxide. That's Triple Action Gold Bond.
It's gone, completely gone. The itching in the area of the rash was taken care of. It doesn't itch anymore. I don't use any other powder but Gold Bond.
Try Triple Action Gold Bond medicated powder. Use only as directed. Available at all Brooks drugstores.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Stan Sizzick. As a warm front approaches the area overnight, there will be some patchy cloudiness associated with it. Low overnight 66. As the warm front pushes through the region on Tuesday, the afternoon will be quite warm and noticeably more humid. Highs will range from 80 along the coast to 88 inland. Warm and humid Tuesday night with a thunderstorm possible late, low 68. Wednesday, variable cloudiness with a shower or thunderstorm. Some wind and rain from Emily cannot be ruled out. High Wednesday, 82. Partly sunny and pleasant on Thursday, high 82. And on Cape Cod Tuesday, partly sunny, high 80. I'm WBZ AccuWeather meteorologist Stan Sizzick.
Stan, you're a good person, and I love the way you talk. And the temperature right now is 69 degrees.
After 10 years, Nina's design lighting of Lexington Center is closing, to be replaced by a brand new store near Burlington Mall. To avoid moving the inventory, our entire selection of fine lighting, mirrors, and lampshades has been put on sale, and prices have been reduced 30 to 70%. Lamps and chandeliers by Waterford Crystal, Chapman, Stiffel, Carton-Lovey, and hundreds of our own unique imports from around the world can now be purchased at the lowest prices ever. Hello, I am Nina, owner of Nina's of Brookline, Lexington, and Newbury Street of Boston, and Berkelhammers of Wellesley. These are the final weeks at Nina's in Lexington Center, so whether you just bought a home or are simply redecorating and need some fine lighting, come to Nina's of Lexington Center, located at 1666 Mass Avenue, or call 863-0366.
Why do you talk that way, Nina? You know you're not Hungarian. Why do you do that? It's coming up to 23 minutes before 4 o'clock here at WBZ. Okay, we're back with Kathleen and Suzanne and Tony and Mike and Jack.
Hello.
And all the swell kids here in the teen canteen. Okay, we're guessing the age of James Coburn, and we'll start with you, Suzanne. How old do you think he is?
Well, before I do you know the motion picture they're making on the Craigie Bridge or whatever?
Yeah, Jack, we were going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Do you know
Blown
which
Away.
one that is?
Oh, yeah,
Blown
it's Blown Away.
Sorry, Jack, I stepped on your line.
I'm sorry, it's called what?
It's called Blown Away with, who's in it?
Jeff Bridges, Lloyd Bridges.
Well, Jeff Bridges at any rate.
Well, Lloyd is, yeah, he plays his dad in it, as a matter of fact.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I think you're right. And actually, I've actually had the fortune to be connected with a few people who've been doing a couple of different things in it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Is it funny that the Bridges are on the Craigie Drawbridge filming a movie? Isn't that odd?
Huh? The bridges are on the bridge.
Yeah. It must have something to do with the blue moon, I bet. Some kind of lunar connection.
Wow.
Okay.
Suzanne.
Well, okay.
And isn't it funny that Lloyd Bridges has sort of a craggy face?
He does. He's been underwater for so long.
That's right. He's got a blue wrinkled face.
What
Anyway.
was that show he was? Sea Hunts? No, was it?
No, his blue wrinkled craggy face.
Okay, Suzanne.
James Coburn.
So James Coburn, that's the guy.
Yeah, but he has a craggy face, too.
Yes, he has.
He should be on the bridge.
59. 59, you say?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And Mike, what do you say?
I'm going to say he's 61 years old.
61 years of age. Thank you so much. Okay. And Jack?
63.
What do you think, Kathleen?
60.
60. And Tony?
What was the first major movie he made?
The first major movie he made was The Romance of Aspirin Tablets.
What year was that?
The year was 1835, just before he made The Romance of Steel Ingots.
Oh, come on. You said it. Was it 1963 was his first major break in the movie you said?
Yes, it was.
His first big movie role was in The Great Escape in 1963.
So he probably had many minor roles before that.
He may have had some minor roles. No, I don't really know at the moment, and it's too late for our research department.
He looks a lot older than I think he really is.
How old do you think he is, and how old does he look?
Well, that craggy face, he looks to be in his maybe mid to late 60s.
But
and only because I work with people in that general age can I make that.
Yeah, I imagine you probably get sick of those old folks. You know, must be refreshing to have worked with me tonight. And shut up! I don't care to hear any more comment from you, fella.
Oh man, has he hit the big 6-0 yet?
Has he hit the big 6-0?
That's my question.
That's what we're wondering.
No, I cannot answer any of those questions. No, those are leading questions, Your Honor.
59.
59, and don't harass the witness. I like to say things of that nature because they don't make any sense at all in this context. James Coburn is actually 65. He does look older than you think he is.
I was right. He is in his mid to...
Yeah, he's mid to late 60s, you said.
Old.
He's 65. That's right. And the closest was Jack Harte, who said 63. Congratulations, Jack.
Well, thank you.
That round was yours.
Oh, thank you.
So we have Kathleen and Jack with one apiece, and Tony with two, as we go to Daniel Shore, one of my favorite news analysts, broadcast journalist Daniel Shore. He was a CBS correspondent, Emmy Award winner for his coverage of Watergate. He's been with, I guess he's been with, is it with PBS or National Public Television, I think, recently. I'm not really sure. Daniel Shore, I've seen him millions of times, and I love his stuff. And let's see how old. What do you think, Tony? We'll start with you. Daniel Shore.
So he won an award for Watergate, huh?
Yes.
I see it coming.
That's what it was about.
Well, that's how he ended up on the shore.
No, see, Tony wants to figure in Watergate. This way he can figure when was Watergate, and he can start figuring ages based upon that. If he was covering Watergate, which was the mid-70s, but that's 74, 75, he obviously has to be older than like 22.
Yeah. 58.
58.
54.
54. Okay. And,
no, yeah, 54.
Okay. Kathleen, what do you think?
52.
52, says Kathleen. And Mike says?
75.
75.
What the heck?
What the heck? Suzanne, what do you say?
Oh, I'm right in the same field with him. I think I have no idea what the man looks like, but I think he's around 74.
So you're telling us you're not sure?
I'm not sure about sure.
Jack, what do you say?
I'll say 73.
73. Okay. He's 77. Jack, the guy you laughed at, Mike Epstein, was the closest, who said 75. Although Jack and Suzanne were very close,
I
too.
remember from last year, we were all shocked and amazed that he was.
Next year when he's 76 or 78,
That'll be the spirit.
I think you'll then be amazed, too, because you guys never learn. You just never learn. I swear you never learn. I've sent you to the best private schools, and you still don't learn.
I like that. You've got high hopes of still be doing the birthday game next year, huh?
Yeah. I don't even have high hopes I'll be doing it this weekend. However, well, never mind. Anyway, Van Morrison. Van Morrison. You know Van Morrison? Mm-hmm. From Northern Ireland. Biggest hits, Domino and Brown Eyed Girl. What did you say?
The Belfast Cowboy, they call him.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
For a while, he was the lead singer for the group. Do you remember the group? The name of the group he was lead singer for?
It was Them, I believe.
Them is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So we'll start with you, Jack. What do you think? How old is Van Morrison?
Let's see. He is 52.
52. Okay. And Mike?
I'm wondering about his family background. Does Van have a younger brother, Truck? I don't know.
It doesn't take long to be infected by this.
An Uncle 18-wheeler.
By the Jack and Tony humor, does it?
Maybe like a younger sister, convertible.
Sure, an Aunt Sedan.
Gonna say the Van Man is.
Oh, the Van Man is. That's cute.
The Van
cute.
Man.
What do you kids like that? The kids love that Van Man. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that Van is 53 years old.
53 years old. Oh, okay. Tony, what do you say?
What are you guys driving at anyway? What was the
trying to be a big wheel. Say big wheel. Say it and get it over with.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think we're trying to be exhaustive on that.
Yeah. Come through. Hope you'll come through in the clutch. Say that. Say that. Get it over with.
Why don't we just shift gears?
Say shift gears. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, boy.
Are we getting a little tiring?
Aren't we? We're getting to be real bores as well.
I think we really ought to steer this in another direction.
Yeah. Oh, steer. Get that. Oh, Tony, come on while we're still laughing and screaming with joy. How old is Van Morrison? Let me truck on out of here. Oh, medic. Okay, how the hell old is he when you say something?
Well, what did Jack say?
What did Jack say? Aren't you a man? Can't you stand on your own 2 feet? What did Jack say? What kind of a wimp are you? What do you say, Tony?
Boy, is the stress taking the toll on you.
See, one day doing this all night thing, man, I don't know what I'll be like.
Okay, he's 54.
Ooh. It was like you were giving birth to a child with that. It hurts, doctor. Okay.
No, I was still in my little fantasy land after the news. You did have a recommendation for us during the newscast what to do.
Oh, that's right, too. I said have an erotic fantasy or something of that nature.
I was.
Oh, that's good. And Suzanne, how old do you think Van Morrison is? And did you have an erotic fantasy during the news? And would you describe it in complete details? And we promise never to touch the edit button.
No, I was too busy trying to guess the motion picture on the Craggy Bridge.
Well, there's a whole Freudian group of fantasies there, I would imagine.
I guess. I don't even know this man, but I know that song, so I'd say he's around 47.
Around 47. Okay, and Kathleen?
48.
48 is exactly right.
Oh.
Exactly right. Van Morrison is 48. That means that Kathleen and Tony both are tied 2 apiece. Mike and Jack have 1 apiece, and Suzanne waiting in the wings to come on really strong in the later parts of this program.
I guess I didn't look at that list close enough before I left.
Yeah, I guess. I wondered why it was askew in my mailbox.
Why it had jelly stains on it.
Yeah. Anyway, Debbie Gibson. Let me tell you about Debbie Gibson.
Oh, cute as a bug.
Cute as a bug, little bug. And her hits, and she's from Brooklyn, New York. Her hits include Only in My Dreams, Lost in Your Eyes, and A Foolish Beat. Debbie has her own cologne, Electric Youth. Son of a gun, isn't that sweet? Well, you have your own cologne, haven't you, Jack?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to keep it right behind, right beside you there.
Traffic reporter.
Yeah. It's called Callahan Tunnel.
It's called monoxide.
Yes. Anyway,
Rear exhaust.
she published her first. It published her first book in 1989. Between the Lines, she co-starred in Broadway in 1991 in Les Miserables.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she had done that too. Debbie Gibson, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I saw her recently on some show, and she's grown up quite a bit, and she looks even better than she did as a teenager.
She certainly does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll take a break at 4 for some more erotic fantasies. And you might want to include the very lovely Debbie in them, if you'd like. Okay, let's start with, we'll start with you, Mike. How old do you think Debbie Gibson is?
I think Debbie Gibson is a barely legal 21.
A barely legal 21 as opposed to what? A totally legal 21?
Not barely anything.
As opposed to a totally illegal 16.
Oh, okay.
Depending what state she's in.
Yes.
Or what state you're in at the time.
She's in a state of great excitement if you care to look at it. Kathleen, what do you think?
I don't even have a clue as to who she is.
Debbie Gibson, yeah.
23.
23. Okay, and let me see. Tony?
23.
You're going to say 23 also?
Bet.
And Jack is going to say?
22.
22, and the very lovely Suzanne is saying?
I think she's 23.
Also 23. That's correct. She is 23. Did you already take a guess, Kathleen?
Yeah, I just guessed 23. I don't even know who she is.
And the rest of you just guessed along with what Kathleen said, or did some of you know?
I knew.
You knew, Tony?
I think I knew just by looking at her. You know, following
I
her
read
career.
something in yesterday's paper, Debbie Gibson, and said she was 23. I thought she had been 23 a couple of years ago, but she was only 16 when she started, so.
So it must have been, 7 years ago?
7 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
Boy, that figures greatly. Boy, what
I guess so, yeah.
What a staff, huh? They're ready to join Joe Bergatino's I-team with that kind of logic and figuring. Itzhak Pearlman, the concert violinist.
I'm sorry, what was that again? I have to wipe my face.
Itzhak Pearlman.
Bless you, no.
Fortunately, because of my national origins, I'm able to pronounce consonants of that type. Itzhak. I mean, none of you, like you people say Itzhak or something crazy.
See, it sounds like the same thing you just said.
Oh, see?
Now do the difference. Now let me hear the difference again.
No, it's not. You'd say, most people would say Itzhak, and I'm saying Itzhak. So you get the sound.
Watch it.
I'm sorry, I hurt my throat.
Yeah.
That didn't feel too good. Okay, let's start with you, Kathleen. Itzhak Pearlman. Itzhak is it means Irving, I think. In English would be Irving. I believe so. No.
Norman Itzhak.
Or Isaac.
Nathan.
Isaac, maybe. Yeah, Isaac.
Okay, 81.
81.
Oh.
Concert violinists are always 81. Don't you know that?
Sure.
That's when they're in their prime.
Even when they're 82, they're 81.
That's right.
And Suzanne, what do you think?
Well, that was what I was going to say, and I have no idea why, so I'll change it, and I'll say 78.
Wow, don't you follow music at all?
Yeah, don't you follow music at all. Okay, Tony, what do you say?
Oh, I think he's much younger than that. 58.
58. He has been on television several times. I mean, he's on quite often.
He's got muscular dystrophy or something to that effect.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, you always see him sitting. Comes out and with a cane and sits down.
Oh, I didn't realize
that guy is 58. I know who you're talking about.
Because he's an incredible violinist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, Mike, what do you think?
I'll stick with
I think he's 57.
57, and Jack?
54.
Okay. Jack is actually the closest to 54. Wow. He's actually only 48.
Wow.
He's 48. No, it always surprised me. He doesn't look a whole lot older than that either. But it always surprised me when I see him to realize how young he is. The name, Itzhak Pearlman, and a great concert violinist you expect has been around forever. Got to be about 70 or 80, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen him. I don't know why I think he's so old, but that's
maybe it's the cane thing.
It may be. Okay, so I think we have a 17-way tie. No, we don't. We have Kathleen and we have Tony with 3 apiece. And then we have Jack has a couple of correct answers. Mike and Suzanne have 1 apiece. So I should give you a tiebreaker, I think, for these 3 apiece things. Okay. You 3 apiece things. Let's have a tiebreaker. Let me see who can use, because we haven't yet used all the birthdays. Can't use Arthur Godfrey, although he was born on August 31st also. Well, I tell you why you can't use me, because, to tell you the truth, Norman, I happen to be a very, very dead person. When I was alive, of course, it made sense, you know, to guess my age. But since that time, I don't know whether it's much fun guessing the age of a person who is totally and completely dead, you see. Oh, boy, I'm going to miss this program when I get fired. The only way I can release some of my emotional stress. I'll have to stay at home and bang on the walls instead of release later. Anyway, okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I forget what I was saying. Well, I remember what you were saying, Norman, and it was totally stupid.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
You sound like an Irish priest.
Well, in my other life here, in my life after death, I have become an Irish priest. Oh, yes. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, I'm an Irish priest who sings.
Imitating Arthur Godfrey.
Oh, am I? Is that what I'm doing?
Give us a little She's Too Fat for Me, Arthur. Do you mind?
You like that? It's a polka. Oh, she's too fat. She's too fat. Oh, she's too fat. I'm sounding too stupid even for me. And Warren Berlinger, Berlinger, yes it is, Berlinger. He was in,
Itzhak Pearlman?
Itzhak Berlinger. He was in Love America's Life. He was also in I Can Get It For You Wholesale. A little kind of a chubby guy.
No.
Who sang, among other things, what I Can
She's Too
Get...
Fat for Me.
No, that was my song. Oh, she's too fat for me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay, I feel better now. Thank you. Whenever I feel ill, I do an Arthur Godfrey imitation. It just clears up my nasal.
And you make everyone else sick.
Just like
that's true, but that's their problem. Let them do their own Arthur Godfreys. Warren Berlinger. I know you'd know who he was if you saw him. Then again, that doesn't make much sense either. Okay, I'm just going to ask Kathy and Tony this because they're the ones the two are tied. Kathleen, how old do you think Warren Berlinger? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, but I was trying to think of a song that I can't think of one that he does. From I Can Get It For You Wholesale is when he looks in the mirror and makes love to himself. You know that one that actually sounds like a love song.
I love like a blues song.
I love the straight I love the
let's get the police sketch artist in here, maybe.
I'm making a total ass of myself. I think we better move along. Anyway, Warren Berlinger, what do you think, Kev? Take a guess anyway.
Oh, 53.
53. Oh, 53. Okay. Tony.
63.
63. Okay. Actually, he's 66.
Really?
You're right. Yeah, 60. I thought he was much younger than that.
Tony. Yeah, he doesn't look that old.
Hey.
I Believe in You. That's the song I was trying to think of. I believe in you. I believe in you, which sounds like a love song, except in the play, he's looking in the mirror and singing it to himself.
Didn't sound like a love song to me.
Yeah. Well, maybe it isn't. I don't know. It's one of those nights when nothing I say
It
is
sounded like
correct.
a self-serving, self-centered, looking in the mirror type song.
You're not referring to anybody, are you?
Yeah. Just because I
didn't realize it, but
Just
I
because-
wasn't at the time.
Just because that person looks into the mirror hours at a time combing his eyebrows is no reason to poke fun at the poor soul. After all, he's not hurting anybody, is he? As long as you're not hurting anybody, is that so awful? Just don't hurt anybody. Okay, anyway, the winner is Tony Nesbitt. You did very well, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for playing the game with us. It's been nice to have you with us. I appreciate that very much. This is my way of saying goodbye and kissing you off, Kathleen. So do it gracefully, will you please?
Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much. And Suzanne, you also are very adorable, and we enjoyed having you too. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much for letting me play.
Will this throw your day off being up this late now?
Probably.
Okay, I'm glad. Because as you go around,
well spent.
no, that's right. It is well spent. Time well spent. And as you're going around tired and wondering what you did all night long and why did you do that, at least you'll think of all of us.
Yes, and I'll know everybody's age for the day.
For the day. That's right. You can play your own game back in Delaware because we don't have too many listeners down your way. Hey, take care of yourself. Best wishes. Bye-bye. And I wanted to wish her best when she goes back to school as a teacher next week. And thanks a lot for being part of the game, Tony. You're always fun.
Norm, I really miss doing this,
Hello? Hello? Okay. And Jack?
Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's get rid of him quickly. He's starting to get bored.
Mom, have a good night. I'm going home.
Okay, bye-bye, Mike.
If you suffer from motion sickness caused by car, train, plane, or boat, listen. We just got back from this great vacation in Hawaii, and for the first time in my life, I didn't get airsick. You know what made the difference? Marazine. It's time you discovered doctor-recommended Marazine. Marazine tablets take the sickness out of travel, help prevent that queasy, nauseous feeling, help treat the dizziness and sickness motion can cause. My wife tried Marazine too. She said she didn't get all of that marked drowsiness with Marazine that she used to get with Dramamine. That's because Marazine contains a medically proven medication Dramamine doesn't have, an ingredient that won't cause all of the marked drowsiness Dramamine may cause. Marazine tablets sure worked for us. I'd recommend Marazine to anyone who doesn't want to experience motion sickness. Marazine tablets. Don't suffer needlessly. Get Marazine today. Marezine. Marazine tablets take the sickness out of travel. Use only as directed. Available at Osco Drug.
Norm Nathan here at WBZ. 254-1030. We'll take some more calls after the news. I'd love very much to hear from you. Coming up to 4 o'clock.
The Other Side with Dave Maynard, a unique look at the news of our times. Every weekday morning at 25 past the hour. Only on New England's Station 4 News, WBZ Boston.
Before we get to our closing credits, let's take a few minutes to enjoy this chart-busting hit.
Here's a silly ditty, you can sing it right away. Now here is what you say, so sing it while you may. Here's a silly jingle, you can sing it night or noon. Here's the words, that's all you need, 'cause I just sang the tune. Oh, I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. She's too fat for me, she's too fat for me. I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. She's too fat, she's too fat, she's too fat for me. I get dizzy, I get numbo when I'm dancing with my jumbo. I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. She's too fat for me, she's too fat for me. I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. She's too fat, she's too fat, she's too fat for me.
Can she prance up a hill?
No, 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 no.
dance a quadrille?
No, 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 no.
Does she fit in your coupe?
By herself she's a group.
Could she possibly sit upon your knee?
No, no, no.
We don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me.
And she's too fat for me.
But she's just right for me.
We don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me.
Yeah, she's too fat, much too fat.
But she's just right for me. She's so charming, and she's so winning.
But it's alarming when she goes in swimming.
We don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me.
She's too fat for me.
But she's just right for me. So I sure want her, you can't have her, she's just right for me.
But she's too fat.
But she's not too fat, she's just right for me.
She's a twosome, she's a foursome. If she'd lose some, I would like her more. Some I don't want her, you can have her. She's too fat for me. She's too fat for me. She's too fat for me. I don't want her, you can have her. She's too fat for me. She's too fat, much too fat. She's too fat for me. Hey!
I claim no copyright to that fantastic little ditty. Closing the vault and leaving this world a little sillier than we found it. For Ovaltine. Annoying commercial voices, powdered lips, Norm Nathan lookalikes, Methuselah, bland nothing faces, funny-looking country singers, writing in Old English, autographed dumb birthday game scorecards donated to the WGBH Channel 2 auction, futile attempts to record a Channel 2 program during said auction, Herbie the Love Bug, Mike Epstein's Buddy Hackett impression, lying, cheating, no good, Paskudniks. State abbreviations. Our Man Flint's Magic Watch. Boring stories about Our Man Flint. Junkets. Puerto Rican hats. Betty Grable tickling the back of Norm's neck. Sleeping through a movie premiere on the studio's dime. Schlitz Light. Talking through the news or having fantasies while on hold. The Craigie Bridge. Joan Cantwell for triple action gold bond medicated powder, Nina's design lighting, Burkle hammers, the romance of aspirin tablets, the romance of steel ingots, the blue moon, the Van Man, automotive puns, Jack's cologne line including Callahan Tunnel, monoxide, and rear exhaust, James Coburn, Arthur Godfrey, and the She's Too Fat For Me polka, Marazine tablets, sizzling Stan Sizzick, Lana Jones, Mike Epstein, Jack Harte, and the nearly unemployed Norm Nathan person, I'm that cutesy wise guy, Tony Fatlegs Nesbitt.
Oh, boy, I'm going to miss this program when I get fired.